Should we mark another chapter of that topic? AI? I think we should. There's just no stopping it. I'm saying it in every other video. There's no stopping it. There's no holding it back. It's just not. And we need to like really, really adapt. Especially like the ones who are like attached to a job. It's wild. There will be that day where you can't be attached to your job anymore and your job will kick you. I say it all the time now. Now I start something to myself, my own brand, my own name. You see that, guys? And I'm starting that right now. I'm the product. So I think nothing's for certain. It doesn't matter what it is. It really doesn't matter what it is. Your body isn't certain. The next day you're living isn't certain. There's just like no way to take things for certainty. There's just, you will lose if you think like that. Like a fixed salary, a certain job, it's not promised tomorrow. There's nothing, there's nowhere, there's nowhere it's promised and the next day. You can't, and I learned that right now, and I'm more glad. So hope like these people will kind of wake up too, because they need to. They really need to. So let's not waste any more time. Let's see what Blaze TV got to say. I like my ability to find the good videos. I really do.
So we're just talking about how jobs and AI that's the bubble that everybody should be talking about, not the
Yeah,
AI bubble. Everybody should be talking about the
yeah.
jobs bubble. And I think it's
I got fully affected by that train, and people are not talking too much about it, and I don't really get it. That topic should be bigger. It just should, bro.
some ways everybody in America is.
Like I said, that's the only thing I'm gonna like throw into the room right now. 2008 job market will be nothing compared what's coming.
I mean,
Mark that.
why honestly, why would you go to college? I mean, anybody who is sending their kids to college, unless it's for something very specific, or you just want, your kid to find themselves into, whatever that is. Um, why are you doing it? I'm begging my kids, trade school, trade school, trade school,
Yeah,
trade school.
I went to college. I started university. Like the first term university that I started was audio engineering, and after that I couldn't. I couldn't. There was I couldn't find myself. I mean, like not right now. That audio engineering knowledge, I can use that by making you with YouTube videos, with the sound, however that Shure SM7B works. Like I can adjust, fine tune, output, input, blah blah blah. There's a lot of stuff that I learned, so I can use that on my journey. But other than that, you should send your children to trade school from the beginning. That's a good approach. I like that approach.
Because that is the job. Those are the jobs of the future. Trade schools.
Yeah.
You be a plumber. I don't know how long that's going to last, maybe 10 or 15 years, but that will last longer than, let's say, truck driver. That'll last a lot longer than attorney.
The jobs where human hands are required will take more time to switch. For example, like if you work in a factory, you'll be replaced by robots like in by the end of 26 probably. If not by now. Nice days. If not by now. You'll be oh my God. Good luck, bro. But if there's like a hands-on job like plumbers, construction workers, uh hand yeah, carpenter, like these kind of jobs, they are more safe from becoming AIs, you know? They are way more safe.
physician's assistant. Well, maybe a physician's assistant, a PA probably will last a while. Nursing will last a
Yeah,
while, but the doctors, I mean, it's you don't need as many as we have right now in the future because it'll be able to be done
yeah.
robotically. And I know this sounds crazy, but it's coming. It is coming. Now,
And it's been people are not talking about it, and I'm fully 100% flabbergasted that they not. How can you not? Absolutely wild, bro. We need to be prepared for what's coming. Never forget that, boys. We need to be fully prepared for what's coming.
we need doctors. So yes, go to school for a doctor. But what else? Why are you going to school? Accounting, business?
Yeah.
Really? You need that degree?
Had the same conversation with my son.
Doesn't like it,
Exact
does he?
same. Does not like. Doesn't even
Doesn't
want
like
to
it.
talk about it.
Nope.
There's this weird apathy. Yeah, it is depressing. But they completely shut down and get uninterested over anything. But I told him. I even offered him. I said I will go to electrician school with you. We were going to do it at night. I was going to do it just to learn another skill. And he didn't even want
You're
to
that
talk about
confident
it.
in the show?
You gotta use everything to your advantage, and I like that. That's why I said, man, that audio engineering came in handy. That came in handy with microphones, so I can apply that knowledge. Yeah, even though my microphone quality is still shit, dog water, poo poo. There's no way. But I guarantee you, like everything, yeah, shit can be useless, definitely. But like when you learned it, it's always good to learn a skill. Maybe you don't need it in your job, whatever. But yeah, that's true. And like, I will not send my kids. Like my kid will. You guys will. Yeah, I will not send him to college too. Not that traditional way. You'll be homeschooled with that fucking shit that is poisoning our younger minds.
Skill. And he didn't even want
You're
to
that
talk about
confident
it.
in the show? No, this torch thing's going to work out, Glenn. I'm taking night classes to be an electrician.
I was actually trying to get around my wife screaming at me the next time I blow the entire circuit in the house.
Right,
Which
okay,
happened a few
sure.
times.
I got it.
But they don't even. They
You
don't
know
even.
something I don't know.
They don't even want to talk about it. And I
I
mean,
know.
and these are issues that I'm actually really scared about because take a look. It's a complete crazy circle catch-22 situation that's going on right now. On one hand, you have the youth are not able to basically survive in the economy right now. They're looking at things like
They're not able to
homeownership, things like
survive
that.
in anything.
No,
In anything. If
It's
it's
the
not
truth.
cooked in a microwave, how many of our kids know how to cook? And even know where food comes from?
yeah,
I mean, they're not able to survive.
Well,
I read something about Teddy Roosevelt.
robotics
Go ahead.
could definitely do that, right? I mean, you think if all this stuff is
sure
coming
will.
away and these jobs are going away, who's going to need to know how to cook? I just this becomes a really
Yeah.
depressing conversation. I'm not surprised.
Yeah. I don't need to know. AI knows. Well, let's ask ChatGPT, OpenAI, and all these kind of great stuff, the devices that are out there. That's true, bro. That's true, bro. A lot of people will not use their brain. Their brain mechanical knowledge will only extend to that extend as long as they can what they need to reach ChatGPT. Everything above that is like it's out of my mind, it's out of my control. AI knows that's how we roll.
Your son was like, gosh, this sucks and shuts down and that like because it's you know.
No, I know.
I have I have a relative who owns a plumbing business and he does great. He does awesome and it's been incredible for him and his
Awesome.
family. That being said, not everybody wants to be a plumber or electrician, right? Like
Yeah.
there's a
No, I know that.
so
I know.
like if what you're
But there's
you're
a
the
lot-
bad parent in the after school specials, like just screw your dreams, you go be a plumber. Like who wants
Not
to
true.
be that guy?
Not true. My daughter wants to. My daughter wants to do the absolute impossible. She wants to be an actress. I would love to say, screw your dreams. You're not doing that. And she talked about going to school. I could go up to some university up in New York, and I'm like, that's not happening. You want me to pay for it? Not doing that. But have a good time. You want to earn it yourself? Go ahead. But I'm not sending you up into that viper's nest. But I said to her,
Oh my God.
let's design a school for you. Let's, instead of paying all of this money, let me get private acting classes. Let me get, private dance classes. It's less than a university. And you know what really got her? It was like, you then don't have to study all the stuff that you're never ever going to use.
Mhm.
You don't need to take, advanced calculus or any, because you're never going to use that. You're never going to use that. Now, my son, he likes math. That's fine with him. But there are things when they are driven for something, you don't have to say be a plumber. You can say, let's find ways for you
Yeah,
to learn this in a better way.
that's
Yeah,
true.
see, I mean, if you're making a point against the university system, you do not need to sell me. It's like trying to sell me on the Jasmine Crockett, candidacy. You do have to do no
Right.
work
I know.
on that one.
Right.
But
Right.
I do think that it's interesting because I think you're right. I think a lot of these jobs are gonna go away. In fact, they're already
They are.
signs of this.
Yeah,
I mean, to the extent of the back and forth about tariff.
bro. If I have chances and people need their children employed and they need like a chance for them to like work somewhere, I really want to be able to give that chance because I've never had like that that these connections where like my dad or my parents could find me a job. I was never in that position. I was never lucky. I always had to fend for myself, come up with shit for myself. Sure, there was some help. Sure, I'm not ashamed for taking help, but I was always sad that my way couldn't be just easier, like with connection from my mom, for example. I was like that. I was raised like that, and I always hoped like some stuff could have been easier because my life, even though like I was raised by both parents, it was harsh for yeah. And whatever I fended for myself, it wasn't good enough. Not maybe in someone else's eye, but in my eyes, it was never good enough. And like then in the end of the year, like my job that did it, my old boss didn't need me. The job was like, yeah, we don't have any work right now. I mean, I applied to be a courier. I did not get any signs back. I went even to the store and I'm like, bro, why y'all not calling? And they were like, yeah, yeah, okay, yes, we will. Give me your contact information. And I'm like, bro, I gave you that shit already. I sent that bullshit to you. What are you yapping about? What is that? What kind of bullshit is that? And I heard back again. Why? What? What's the reason for that, bro?
And all this other
You
stuff,
don't want to have any
we've
workers?
seen a decline in manufacturing jobs in this country this year. A decline.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that's because tariffs are shutting down manufacturing any more than they would have
No.
previously.
Yeah.
There's arguments about that, but I think more than anything else, people are just taking these jobs offline and automating them. All these big companies are replacing thousands of
Yeah.
jobs. These announcements
These
are in the news
data
every
centers are
day.
being built. Never
And
forget that.
it's
Those
going to be
data
tough
centers, bro.
to figure out what the next thing is. I think you're right. Like plumbing and electricians and all these things are going to be very valuable, particularly in the short to medium term. But it's tough to message that to a kid. Hey, like
So
just find this job that you don't really like and just do it because it's the only job that exists. It's not exactly an inspiring message.
No,
We have got to the point where literally anybody.
that's absolutely true. It's a sad day to motivate kids.
because maybe it's just me because of what I do, but I don't think it is. I married into the idea of AI. I wrestled with it hard. I mean,
Yeah,
Stu,
I
I've been
remember.
talking
Yeah.
about this since the 1990s, and I have been wrestling with this because it is a nuclear weapon in the
Yeah,
hands of every single person. It's the most dangerous thing man has ever created and the greatest thing man has ever created.
like
Okay.
weapons,
And so
like weapons. I mean, like the mechanicry of like a weapon is it's a godsend. But like in the hands of a wrong person, it's absolutely devil's work.
you have to really be careful with it and you have to know how to use it.
Yeah,
Um, but, I told, who was it? Sarah, I think I told you yesterday. I said, I mean, I cry at a Kleenex commercial, so, this doesn't mean anything. But I've gotten emotional using it recently because there has been stuff inside of me since I was 10, things, dreams, ideas that I've always wanted to do. And I'm now being able to not only do those things, but do those things in a way that would have cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars. It would have taken me months to do. It just, I couldn't do it. And I'm realizing now, as I'm scratching the surface, I'm learning more about history right now because I can grab the resources so fast. I can look into stuff and go, well, that doesn't seem right. And I can go deeper. What is the difference between doing that as long as you are using you're directing it and
yeah,
you're using it and checking the sources, et cetera, et cetera? Um,
that's true.
what's the difference between that and almost like a book that was written for all of the questions you have?
That's true, bro.
And because all it's doing is it's taking what you have inside of you and following that and mining for things that will make that stronger. I've learned so much history in the last year. I've learned
Gotta fully agree with him. Like everything the past few years was ever just incredible, and I have dreams too. Since I was a kid, small kid, I got certain visions, and now I am closer than any time, like I've any like I've been before, like closer to maybe reaching that goal. And it's a hard time. That it will be one of the most hardest. Uh, what's it called? It will be one of the most hardest lectures and jobs to really motivate kids properly. And I always say that. I always say I believe that teachers are being underpaid, bro. They're handling our future generations. Don't you think like that shit is like kind of it's hella worth it? It's priceless almost. So and we feed them poison. We feed them poison with social media and complete full stock brain rot. That's what we clipping into our magazines and emptying in their heads. Brain rot and just like stupid ignorancy and theories and history that is just not important.
so much about uh, not just technology, uh,
History?
but about my own nature on how I work, what I believe is right, what I believe is wrong. I mean, I've had this explosion because I'm using AI every day. And I don't understand why that's not considered like a university in its own way.
Can I
Yeah.
can I can I give you so you have a perspective of that through as a creative and
Yes.
you're like
Yes.
this is thinking of the amazing things you can do with it. Can I give you the perspective of like my son's generation or at
Yeah.
least him and his
Yeah. Yeah.
friends? This is what they're thinking. Wow, this sucks. The economy is so screwed. I will never be able to own anything my entire life.
Yeah.
Now, this is what they're telling us, speaking from my son's perspective. But everyone's telling us, don't worry about it. We're going to build, 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 and we're betting everything on AI. Okay, great. So it is going to get better, right? Oh, how many jobs are going to be destroyed? So I can't do that one thing.
Look, I've worked in security, right, boys? I've worked in security, and my currency is Swiss francs. But I will just convert that shit to dollars to make it easier, right? So A normal salary in Switzerland is between average salary is like 6,000, right? Right. And I'm not I'm not a dumb person. I was close to the bachelor degree, but I couldn't move on. I just couldn't, even though I wanted. Was close to forging that shit, but didn't pan out that way. And I'm kind of glad. But yeah, I work like for maybe 3,000 sometimes. Some months with 3,000, some months with 2,000. That's what I'm telling you. I am the last. I'm 28 now. I am the last generation that probably ever was willing to go to work a whole month, 168 hours per month, 42 per week. I was I am probably the last generation that will ever was that's willing to spend a whole month for a pay of 3K. Sure, there's different backgrounds and whatsoever, but tell that a 20-year-old. Go out there and tell them, we got employment, 2,500, 3,500. We'll take it. Sure, there's always something better, maybe. Yeah, but no, these people will not work for hard cash. Hard work for cash. Like the younger generation, they're like, oh, I'm not doing that. Who goes to work? A lot of jobs are dying because like even the younger generations, they do not want. They're completely filled with brain rot of social media. And what he's saying is absolutely true. Like I am the last generation that was willing to work. Not anymore now, as well. Not anymore. And tend to find better work. Everybody has his everybody has his history. Everybody has his path where he has to go. And and I think the future will look like that. Everybody of us will be like a online creator, like in some sort. Everybody, almost everybody. But there's a lot of people who do not want to be in front of the
I
camera,
wanted
and
to do
that's
because of AI. So
fine.
the solution to why I can't ever take part of the American dream is what's going to eventually take the job that I want to get so that I can someday get the American. They're in that circle and they're like,
Yeah,
I'm screwed. And then you look at people like Elon Musk that says, don't worry about it because automation, I'm going to be building all these robots.
I
It's
know.
going to completely solve world hunger. Wait a minute, but I won't have a job. So none of the math adds up. They're like,
yeah.
wait a minute.
No, it does. Remember, Stu, we've been talking about this problem for how many years, and I could not get anybody to listen. I couldn't get anybody to listen.
Yeah, that's
Thank
true.
you for thinking for yourself and being part.
It's absolutely true, bro. That's absolutely true, bro. Nice Blaze TV. Shout out to them. But that's absolutely true. Nobody wants to listen until like the problem is here, and I kind of agree. Like, don't ever like dwell on the problem, find a solution, but like dwell on the problem when the problem arrives, not when there's no problem. You guys get what I'm saying? But the job market, that I'm gonna be on top of that. I will and I won't. Because like these people need guidance. Some people need guidance, and some of our younger generations need help. And that will be absolutely wild to see how that pans out. Like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on notifications. Let that bell ring you. And I am out. Hope you guys enjoyed it.